Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm with Adamo for the post-match discussion following AC Milan's 2-1 win against Palermo. That's right, I predicted it right in the pre-match angle. Thank you. Anyways, let's get on to more important things. Very important win for Milan, as we had mentioned in the pre-match angle. Getting their second consecutive win for only the third time this season. What an accomplishment. But honestly, guys, what was the most important thing was the 3 points, as we are still looking to get into the Europa League positions. And let me just tell you that there were some very favorable results today. As far as the contention for the Europa League, of course, still waiting for that big match there, which will be starting in about an hour and a half between Fiorentina and Sampdoria. That will really dictate what Milan could go on to next week, as AC Milan will be facing Sampdoria, and of course that's going to be a big one. But let's speak about this match, Adamo, because I had mentioned it several times that it wasn't really going to be an easy game at the Renzo Barbera, as Palermo did quite well there this season, losing only twice. But we did come out with the win. Maybe not in the best of fashions, but a win is a win. Cerci with his first goal for the Rossoneri in his career, coming off their lucky bounce off the goalkeeper and in, but a goal is a goal. And Menez really saving Milan from another poor result with minutes remaining into this game. What did you make of Milan's performance today?
Well, the first half was a bit shaky. I was kind of worried because Palermo nearly scored 2 or 3 goals. That chance where Dybala kept the ball in and
Hmm.
Vasquez missed an open sitter. Milan could have easily lost this game if the luck didn't really go our way, especially with that Cerci shot. But as you said, a goal is a goal. And luckily that went in. In the second half, they were much better, making more chances, a bit more organized in defense. Still leaked a couple of things, but, still better than the first half. Obviously, Dybala with the goal after in the penalty, breaking his duck. Good for him, but not too good for Milan as the pressure was on. But Menez scored that fantastic goal. We've seen when he isn't scoring penalties, he does score these goals where he takes the ball out of nowhere and just does a splendid individual display and scores a fantastic goal. So it was really good for Menez to score there too. And overall, Milan could have done better, but we did get the 3 points. That's all that really matters.
Right, and Menez there getting his 16th goal of the season. Just incredible numbers for Menez. Really, it's this year, it's this season really for Milan. 16 goals, just an incredible number, and maybe he could possibly each 20. That would be crazy if he does, but we'll see what happens in the near future. Of course, Adamo, we mentioned a few times also today that we wanted to see Suso playing from the start. However, Inzaghi did bring him in the second half, like we had anticipated. And let's just say he did phenomenal with the little minutes that he had to play. I think as I said, Inzaghi definitely needs to consider this guy as one of the main substitutes now coming on for Milan, because he's just showing it on the field. He's been playing very well. What do you think of Suso as when he came in, and also Pazzini making his presence felt up front?
Definitely with Suso has a lot of potential in him. A lot of people thought maybe he would have been overhyped and overrated coming from Liverpool and such, but he's actually shown with a few minutes, as you said, that he does have the quality to really punish teams and that he could be Milan's super sub despite being so young. Usually super sub is a more advanced player, but he's very young, and I think that's very, very good for Milan. It's kind of a tricky situation to start him because you have Cerci, which is a player that you want to kind of convince to stay at Milan because we're going to need a player like him even if we do have Suso. So you kind of want to play him as often as possible, kind of keep him happy. And Suso does really play in that right wing role, but he can also play in the midfield, which is definitely a possibility. Maybe he'll be the replacement for Muntari that's been frozen out of the
Mm-hmm.
squad.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I do think he deserves more minutes, but it's going to be very, very difficult because you can't bench a player like Menez, as you said, with 16 goals. Hard to bench Destro because he's our main guy. And, Cerci is Cerci, as I explained earlier. Hopefully, Suso does get the minutes. As for Pazzini, he was decent today. Nothing too special. could have done better, much like the Milan side in general, but can't expect much from Pazzini. He's a sub for a reason. He comes in to really, maybe give Destro a break or possibly get a goal out of nowhere. So overall, it's a decent performance by Pazzini, but nothing special.
Well said, well said. And as you mentioned there for Suso, personally, I just think, as you said, that it's very tough to get playing time at Milan with all the players that we have up front. I mean, plenty of quality, not much quantity this season, but things could definitely change in the short run or in the long run for these players because you have the talent. You're not going to lose that talent one day or another. So hopefully in the future, we'll see these players actually developing quite well with themselves. Also, I would like to mention about Van Ginkel because he actually delivered that cross there, low cross to Cherchi for his first goal. And, Van Ginkel sometimes he's been criticized a lot. But, once again, he's another player like Suso that with more playing time, I think he could develop some good confidence for himself. And definitely that will show in his performances in the long run. What do you think about Van Ginkel today?
He's fantastic as well, not only with that cross, but also in general, he's just overall a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. If Milan could somehow convince him to stay and kind of intrigue Chelsea with some type of ambitious offer, I would love to have Van Ginkel at Milan on a permanent basis. Kind of sucks that it's only a loan deal with no buy clause with the bio, but either way, he did play very, very well today, and he could be a key factor in Milan making Europe this season.
Well said. And of course, our next match will be against Sampdoria, as I mentioned, and it will be at the San Siro. Very important match for both of these teams. Sampdoria currently sitting on 4th place, Milan 8th place, but we're getting closer to that 5th and 6th spot. Currently, 5 and 6 points away. So it's still doable with 9 games left. As I said, there's 27 points yet to be picked up for Milan. So I think if they pick up at least 20 out of the 27 or around those lines, maybe we could get that last hope to get into the Europa League. Final question for you, Adamo. Who was your man of the match?
Man of the match. There's a number of players that it could be. There was a couple of good performances overall, as I mentioned, Van Ginkel. Even Suso, when he came off the bench with the minutes that he had, he was amazing. But it's hard to really give a sub the man of the match. But I think overall I would go with Van Ginkel just for the fact that he did play a pretty good game overall, and he got the assist for Cherchi's goal, which really solidified Milan's position, even though we conceded a bit after that. He really gave us the advantage in that match. So I think Van Ginkel was a key factor today.
Personally, I think Cherchi played a very good match today, not only because of his goal, but I think his performance was quite decent. I mean, he did show some very good things. But for me, the man of the match, once again, has to go to Menez, saving Milan yet again with his goal, with dying minutes, really in the dying minutes. And once again, picking up a very vital win for Milan with those 3 points really captured in the last 8-10 minutes. Those have to be the best points that you can really capture. And of course, giving Milan another lifeline at the big price. So that is it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay up there with everything AC Milan, from match previews, reviews, pre-match hangouts, news, and much more. Everything to cover AC Milan, we've got it here on the channel. Thank you for watching. This has been Gio and Adamo signing off. And as usual, Forza Milan.